Hey guys, Lisa Archer here. Today's video is about vitamin D and how important it is to our bodies and its benefits and what we get from it. So kind of a brief synopsis about vitamin D is it is a fat-soluble vitamin and we really don't get enough of it from our food. It's almost a little bit different than a vitamin per se. It's like a hormone in our skin that the sun synthesizes and produces in our bodies. So therefore, hence you've probably heard it's the sunshine vitamin, right? So, I actually come from Texas, and in Texas, it's very hot, it's very sunny. And so a lot of people think, well, you're there, right? So you probably have plenty of vitamin D. And I'm currently in Washington, where western side, which is very gray and dark a lot of times in the winter. And so people expect that you're going to be too low here. But the interesting thing is that actually I've tested vitamin D levels of people in Texas and here as well. And, honestly, most people are too low. So the lab value of vitamin D tells you the normal range is anywhere from 30 to 100. Ideally, we probably feel our best if we're kind of in the 65, 75 range, but that's what the lab says. So if somebody falls below 30, we treat them, or the way I treat is I give them a prescription strength of vitamin D, and that is actually 50,000 IUs, which means international units, once a week for 3 months. And then I switch them to an over-the-counter version, tell them take vitamin D3 after that, about 2,000 to 5,000 IUs daily max. The thing is, with the fat-soluble vitamin, there is a potential that if it gets too high in the blood, it could cause problems. But I've never seen that happen, but it is possible. Versus, say, the water-soluble vitamins. Some examples of that could be vitamin C, vitamin B. But, if they're high, we tend to urinate off any excess, so we don't worry about that so much. So I want to share a story. I had a patient that I saw when I was on one of my assignments. I did some travel work for a little bit of time, and it was here in Washington, and she came in. I'd never seen her before, and she starts telling me that she wants to have her advanced directive papers signed, and that's probably a subject in a little more detail for another video, but to briefly explain that, an advanced directive is a legal document that has to be signed by a healthcare provider, basically stating the patient's wishes. If they don't want to be resuscitated, if they were to stop breathing, their heart stops, they don't want any kind of extraneous or extraordinary measures taken to bring them back, so to speak. So that's kind of where she was at. So I told her, I said, okay, well, that's fine. I can sign these papers for you. I'm happy to do it. And I said, but since we're just getting established, let's just do some general blood work, inner physical, so to speak. And there are several blood tests that we do in that case, but I also added a vitamin D test. So when I got her results, turns out her vitamin D was very low, so low. I don't remember the exact number, but I want to say could have been as low as a 4 or a 9. And again, remember, like I say, the normal blood range, according to the lab, is about 30 to 100. So I prescribed her the vitamin D strength for 3 months, and then go from there with the over-the-counter version after that. So it's about a couple weeks later, and I get a call at the clinic. The medical assistant came to me. She said, there's a patient on the phone. She wants to talk to you. She wants to thank you directly. I didn't know who it was at that point, so I said, okay. She goes, I tried to ask her, why, and she said that she really wanted to talk to you personally. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I went and answered the phone, said, hey, it's Lisa, how can I help you? And she said, I don't know if you remember me, but when I came in a couple weeks ago, I really felt like I was just gonna die. I was so tired, and I really thought that I was getting to the end of the road, so to speak. So And she goes, you tested my vitamin D levels. And she goes, I don't think anybody's ever done that. And that prescription that you gave me, she said, from the first pill I took, she said, I immediately just felt so much more energy. I got up, I cleaned my house, I did all these things that I haven't felt like I could do for a very long time. And she said, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for that because I feel so much better. And I said, that's awesome. Like, I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. And yeah, so, I'd like to say that everybody has that kind of dramatic response. Maybe not, but most people feel better, they really do. So if you get their levels where they need to be. Unfortunately, a lot of insurance companies don't want to pay for this test. I guess it's too expensive, or maybe they feel like everybody should just take it, right? But not everybody does. In fact, most people don't. So, yeah, vitamin D makes a big, big difference in everything. Our immunity, our mood, our energy levels, and, and so much more. So, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about vitamin D and how important it is. So I hope that helped. And again, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to leave a comment or message me directly. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.